Hello and welcome to Hoofball. Last night we saw some incredible Premier League action. We saw Leeds United playing Liverpool. And the whole idea of this video is, are Liverpool back? They've had a season from hell, if I'm honest. They've conceded lots of goals. They've sort of been very, very ineffective up front. You've got players like Virgil van Dijk who people have been doubting all season. You know, Virgil van Dijk, for example, has been a rock in that Liverpool squad for a number of seasons now, and really the defence is what has been the foundations of success at Liverpool. You've got many people questioning Trent Alexander-Arnold and even the goalkeeper at times. But last night we saw the Liverpool of old. We saw brilliant, fluid attacking football. We saw players like Cody Gakpo step up, players that have been sort of in the shadow all season. Darwin Núñez came on and grabbed a goal as well. And I'll be honest with you, it looks like watching the Liverpool of old. Leeds last night were very poor. They look like a side that are doomed. They lost 5-1 last week and obviously lost heavily last night as well. Now, the issue with Leeds United is they're losing at home and not really picking much up away. The Elland Road crowd can get on their back very, very heavily. And that's probably what happened last night. It was quite interesting to see 70 minutes gone last night, the crowd are flocking out of the ground. But for me, Leeds United were very poor last night. Midfield, they looked terrible. They had a little spell after half time where they came forward a little bit more and they obviously grabbed a goal. But for me, Leeds United were awful. And they have been for the last couple of games. Against Crystal Palace, I was very shocked actually. In fact, the Crystal Palace game with Leeds United was really, really weird because the day before I'd watched Leicester play Bournemouth and lose 1-0 at home. And watching the way Leeds played at home against Crystal Palace actually gave me hope as a Leicester fan that Leicester could stay up. That's how bad Leeds were and how much I was convinced really that Leicester could possibly get themselves out of it. It gave me a bit of a boost seeing another team struggle who were arguably poorer than we were that weekend. But last night they were really, really bad last night. The keeper at Leeds is very highly rated. And people believe he's going to play for a top four team. But for me, he's bang average. The defence were all over the shop. But the important thing here is how good Liverpool were going forward. Mo Salah looked like he was on top form. Cody Gakpo, for me, when he came over from the Netherlands to play for Liverpool, I was quite excited about this. I followed Gakpo for a number of seasons, and he's been a very, very good player over in the Dutch league. But it's took him a long while to get to grips with English football and handle that transition. I thought Liverpool were the perfect club for him, if I'm honest, because playing under a manager like Jurgen Klopp, he can nurture that talent and bring him to the forefront. And Gakpo, I thought, would be the perfect replacement eventually for Sadio Mane, who's obviously having a bit of a nightmare season at Bayern Munich. Gakpo last night looked quality. He was picking up the ball, playing some brilliant passes and bringing more players into play. He looked really, really top draw last night, as did Mo Salah, who got back to goal scoring ways as well. And he is a brilliant footballer. There's been a lot of comparisons between Mo Salah and Saka recently, but I don't think anyone can can doubt Mo Salah's attitude and also skill on the pitch. In the last few years, he's carried Liverpool. I would have said a few years ago that if Salah left, Liverpool would have been in a bigger mess than if Mane left. And people have been saying, actually, it's been the other way around, that Salah was the one who was sort of dispensable. But he looked world class again last night. And also for me, Alexander-Arnold looked very good again going forward. I think he set the first goal up as well. Alexander-Arnold is not a bad player. He's had a bad season, and all great players can have a bad season. It's not like he's like Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy's had a nightmare season for Leicester and he's got 1 goal all season. Trent Alexander-Arnold is very young still. Jamie Vardy's at the end of his career. It's not like Alexander-Arnold can have a solid end of the season now and then recuperate over summer and then start afresh next year and be back to how he was. But for me last night, Liverpool were fantastic to watch. They really did put Leeds to the sword and they didn't stop. They were relentless. There's still problems at Liverpool with regards to the midfield. And there's one player I think that Liverpool could sign very, very cheaply that could solve a lot of the issues. There's been talk recently about Gravenberch coming to Liverpool, and there's also been a lot of talk about, obviously, Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is a player that Klopp obviously loves and wants at Liverpool, but he's so expensive. What I found very interesting, actually, is Bellingham's quotes about Liverpool and how he was saying that he wants to move to a club with heritage, which sort of, in a sense, gets rid of clubs like PSG and Manchester City, clubs ultimately who can afford Jude Bellingham. But for me, he must be motivated by the history of the club. And it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he stayed at Dortmund for another year or two. But ultimately, he's too expensive to go to Anfield at the moment. There's one player, I think, who is available on a free, who should be being picked up by Jurgen Klopp now. Jurgen Klopp should have his checkbook out and should be writing wages and contracts for Youri Tielemans. Youri Tielemans at Leicester for seasons has been brilliant. He's a quality midfielder. He is brilliant in the middle of the park. Yes, he has the odd game where he doesn't look amazing, but overall he's an excellent player. And most importantly for Liverpool, he is available on a free this season. They could also pick up Caglar Soyuncu on a free, but it looks like he's going to Atletico Madrid. But Youri Tielemans is an extra body in midfield who is class. He could play for he really should play for a top 4 side, if I'm honest. And Youri Tielemans would fit into that Liverpool midfield brilliantly. He's definitely a step up than Milner, arguably a step up as well than Jordan Henderson. He's still very young as well, and he's very fresh. Yes, he has been injured a couple of times this season, but for me, Youri Tielemans on a free should be something definitely that Liverpool are looking at. I'm actually quite excited to see where Liverpool go next season and what they do this transfer window. They're known to get their business done quite quickly as well, and things aren't drawn out for months and months and months. So I expect a couple of movements in the next few weeks, really, with Liverpool approaching players to sign for next season. But last night it did really look like the old Liverpool were back. It was great to watch. It was attacking football, and I'll be honest with you, it was a great advert for the Premier League. Leeds had spells where they looked quite good. For example, was it Anderson or someone in midfield hit the bar? And for the start of the second half, you actually thought this could go 2-2 here. This could be a real bad result for Liverpool. But Liverpool just cranked it up and they got the job done. They did ultimately what Arsenal should have done last weekend by putting West Ham to the sword. But Liverpool were ruthless last night, and it was like watching the Liverpool of old. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, comment down below what you think is going to happen for the rest of the season. We really do enjoy reading your comments here on Hoofball. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and most of all, have a great day.